Hello to everybody here in the space and in the Zoom. My name is Alina Buchberger. I work here at Kampnagel as a curator, and me and Payam Masumi curated this second edition of the Performative Book Fair together. Just some practical and access information for everybody. This conversation will be held in English, and one text will also be read in German. If you need any translation between these two languages, please pick up a headphone at the entrance of the hall, or if you're in Zoom, click on the globe symbol and choose your language. Also auf Deutsch, diese Veranstaltung wird auf Englisch stattfinden, ein Text auch auf Deutsch, und wenn jemand Übersetzung möchte, gerne einen Kopfhörer dort am Eingang nehmen oder im Zoom auf diesem kleinen Weltsymbol unten in der Leiste die Sprache auswählen. We also have German Sign Language interpretation here on stage and streamed to the Zoom. Feel free to choose a space that fits for you, move in the space, go out and come back in. There are also some masks for free at the entrance if you want to wear one, and some beanbags here in the front for more comfortable seating. Change your seat if you wish to during the session. I won't take up much more time. I just want to thank you for being here. Also to Nadine, who will join us via screen. And maybe just an invitation to all of you to go and visit the Apokalypse reading nook that we will hear about more during this session, and join the panel later at 6:30 if you still have energy and time. And tomorrow there is another great discussion that I could also recommend to you. So check out the rest of the program and have a nice panel talk.
Hallo, hallo, moinsen, salam. Ich hoffe, allen geht es gut. I hope everybody is okay somehow, someplace, inside and outside. Hello on the screen at home or wherever you are. Nadine, hello also in the screen. We see you also already here with us. Welcome to our one session talk about Apokalypse reading session. It's just an hour, and so we prepared a little part of reading sections. The three person will share some Apokalypse inspired text, parts of it you will hear, and after we heard 5 parts of 5 different texts, we'll have a chat about it. And then this is the hour. After the hour, you can enjoy some more performances outside. So let's get started. I'm Miriam Ibrahim. I'm a theater artist and curator, and I'm excited to be here. Would you start introducing yourselves? Sarah?
Is it okay if I take this? Cool. Thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Fortun-Heinze and I love to play multiverse. I'm a multiverse poet, I'm a magician. I'm made 90% out of music, and I'm really happy to be here. Thank you.
I can go next. I was reminded yesterday in the really fantastic Crip authorship session, which if you didn't catch it, I think you will be able to catch it, right, online afterwards, so I highly recommend it, to do my visual description for those who are not sighted, so I'm going to do that. So I am a fairly tall, light-skinned, black, fat woman with a short afro that is pulled up a bit on top of my head. I'm wearing a very fabulous silver and turquoise outfit. Thank you for the clicks. Big tortoiseshell glasses and gold trainers on. And a non-visual description, I'm Amma Josephine Budge, or Emma Josephine Budge Johnstone, depending on my hat, which hat I'm wearing. I use she, her pronouns, and I am a speculative writer, artist, curator, pleasure activist, and academic theorist scholar. I think about blackness, queerness, and ecologies, all the more than human, together with pleasure and how we sustain ourselves through the many apocalypses that our ancestors have already survived and the apocalypses that we are still living through.
Thank you, Nadine.
Hello, thank you for having me, and thank you for making me so large, looming above you like this. I feel like I'm benevolently watching over you in this gorgeous way. So I am visual description, led always with compassion by Emma. I am a white passing Arab woman. I am wearing a white shirt, and I'm in a nondescript room floating above you all. Above, apart from my non-physical description is that I'm Egyptian, German, Canadian writer of speculative nonfiction. I work in hybrid autotextual modes and deploy sort of anti-colonial poetics to feel for the otherwise world that already is and that always has been. And part of that is feeling for our kinships, both nascent and ancient. So I'm so pleased and honored to be with you today. And beyond my writing practice, I have the great honor, privilege, joy, and pleasure of teaching with Amma in London, where I am speaking to you from.
Thank you so much. I'm excited. I'm so stoked now to hear the text you decided to bring and share some parts of. So if you please, when you start reading, can a little bit say about the text? And if you want the title, of course, and what you want to share besides reading it. And I think we decided, Amma, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to read a very small excerpt from this incredible short essay by the science fiction writer and feminist thinker Ursula K. Le Guin called The Carrier Bag Theory of Fiction. You can find the PDF free online. If you want to read it, I recommend it. It's a text that I have returned to many, many times. Nadine and I have taught this text together to our undergraduate and graduate students in London. And I will just say a little bit about the Apokalypse Reading Nook project because this text was really a big inspiration for that project. So the Apokalypse Reading Nook, which is an installation here at Kampnagel for the second time for this alternative book fair. Thank you to the incredible team for inviting me back and supporting its installation again. Tries to create a space out of time, out of place, that is populated by many radical texts, but radical in lots of different ways. So radical children's books, radical essays, radical fiction, radical graphic novels, radical books about how to grow your own vegetables and what kinds of mushrooms you can find in different seasons, and tries to work from the premise that we have everything that we need to create a new world. So it's not out there. We don't have to find it or invent it or create it or discover it or colonize it or go to space and it's on another planet. We have it here. So what is stopping us from accessing that kind of knowledge and wisdom and solidarity? A lot of the thing that stops us is time, right? Time, capitalism, the things that keep us running on the hamster wheel rather than being in conversation with each other. And so the Apocalypse Reading Nook tries to be a project that invites you to rest and take as long as you need, maybe to do some reading, maybe to have a nap, maybe to have a conversation, maybe to be read to by some other really wonderful artists and thinkers who have chosen their apocalypse survival guides. And this text is one of my apocalypse survival guides. It's led me to think really differently about stories, how to write them, who they're for, and what they can mean, and how much they inform who we become in the world and the kind of world that feels possible. So, yeah, I'll just do a short reading now. When she was planning the book that ended up as 3 guineas, Virginia Woolf wrote a heading in her notebook: Glossary. She had thought of reinventing English according to a new plan in order to tell a different story. One of the entries in this glossary is heroism, defined as botulism, and hero in Woolf's dictionary is bottle. The hero as bottle, a stringent re-evaluation. I now propose the bottle as hero. Not just the bottle of gin or wine, but bottle in its older sense of container in general. A thing that holds something else. If you haven't got something to put it in, food will escape you. Even something as uncombative and unresourceful as an oat. You put as many as you can into your stomach while they're handy, that being the primary container. But what about tomorrow morning when you wake up and it's cold and raining, and wouldn't it be good to have just a few handfuls of oats to chew and give little to make her shut up? But how do you get more than 1 stomachful and 1 handful home? So you get up and go to the damned soggy oat patch in the rain, and wouldn't it be good if you had something to put baby in so that you could pick those oats with both hands? A leaf, a gourd, a shell, a net, a bag, a sling, a sack, a bottle, a pot, a box, a container, a holder, a recipient. The first cultural device was probably a recipient. Many theorizers feel that the earliest cultural inventions must have been a container to hold gathered products and some kind of sling or net carrier. So says Elizabeth Fisher in Women's Creation. But no, this cannot be. Where is that wonderful, big, long, hard thing? A bone, I believe, that the ape man first bashed somebody with in the movie, and then, grunting with ecstasy at having achieved the first proper murder, flung up into the sky and whirling there became a spaceship to thrust its way into the cosmos, to fertilize it and produce at the end of the movie a lovely fetus, a boy, of course, drifting around the Milky Way without, oddly enough, any womb, any matrix at all. I don't know. I don't even care. I'm not telling that story. We've heard it. We've all heard all about the sticks and the spears and swords, the things to bash and poke and hit with, the long, hard things. But we have not heard about the thing to put things in. The container for the thing contained. That is a new story. That is news.
We breathe in. We take a second. We maybe look right, left, behind, up, down. Breathe in again, and then we start the new text. Nadine, will you hit it off? Come back to us on the screen.
Thank you. Can you see me?
Yes, be our omnipotent one. I'd be so religious if this is what God looked like.
Thank you, Emma. I was transported. I forgot where I was there, but I'm back. I'm back above you. My first reading today, my first offering is a poem by Hiba Abu Nada, who was a brilliant poet, novelist, thinker, and literary citizen. And Hiba was murdered in her home in Khan Yunis in Gaza by an Israeli airstrike on 20th October 2023. And I wish the world had more time with Hibba, with her brilliance, and I honor her memory and the memory of the many thousands of Palestinians murdered since 1948 and in Israel's latest genocidal attempt in Gaza. And as we hear Hibba's words, now echoing from the beyond, I encourage us all to listen for the lesson or the teaching or the wisdom in them. So this is not just passing by Hiba Abu Nada. Yesterday, a star said to the little light in my heart, "We are not just transients passing. Do not die. Beneath this glow, some wanderers go on walking. You were first created out of love, so carry nothing but love to those who are trembling. One day all gardens sprouted from our names, from what remained of heart's yearning. And since it came of age, this ancient language has taught us how to heal others with our longing, how to be a heavenly scent, to relax their tightening lungs, a welcome sigh, a gasp of oxygen. Softly, we pass over wounds like purposeful gauze, a hint of relief, an aspirin. Oh, little light in me, don't die. Even if all the galaxies of the world close in, oh, little light in me, say, enter my heart in peace. All of you, come in. Thank you.
Thank you. We breathe in again and take our time. Maybe remembering what we heard or feel. So the third text, Sarah.
Yes. Wow. When I thought about what will happen today, as always, I forgot that there will be a lot of feelings that I will feel, and now I'm like, okay. Yeah, and thank you, Multiverse, for the reminder to practice together. So I want to audio describe myself too. Yeah, because I want to practice it, and I think there can be time for it. So I'm a Black, queer, trans non-binary person. I'm wearing an outfit of a lot of fabrics, materials, colors, socks with deep sea creatures, and an Adventure Time leggings, a bit layered with the cloudy white leggings, and then a lot of jewelry, and a white blouse, a black blouse, and some hoodie thing going on, and then another blouse with orange, green, yellow, and the afro's out, and I'm wearing red glasses, and when I will start to read, I will put myself glasses on the afro, the black afro, And on the hand that I'm holding the microphone with, there is a really cute bracelet from one of the collectives I'm also part of in digital feminism. And maybe you can see the, no, I'm audio describing, practicing. There's also a little pearl with a chicken happening on the one side. It's smiling and yellow, and on the other side there's a butterfly. So, okay. I'm reading out of a book that published, that appeared in the world recently. It's published by Jeanette Ohuli, and it's called Schwarze deutsche Literatur, ästhetische und aktivistische Interventionen von den 1980er Jahren bis heute. And it appeared in the Transcript Verlag. I forgot what Verlag is in English. Good job. And it's the beginning and the end of a text I wrote together with two amazing beings, also Black authors. And yeah, and no, I will start reading now. Okay, no more distractions. Practicing is not just. I'm excited to do it because it's confusing for me because I'm one person and we wrote the text being three persons. So okay, I will start. Okay. So our text is called, and now I will switch to German. If you need translation, now could be a time to put on the headphones. Okay. Schwarze deutsche Fantastik. Spurensuche aus einer Zukunft durch die Rekonstruktion eines Panels zur progressiven Fantastik, das es nie gegeben hat, das es aber noch geben könnte. Fußnote. Dieser Text beleuchtet aus einer fiktiven Zukunft die schwarze deutsche Fantastik, die immer progressiv ist. Die Aussagen, die Patricia, Fartun und James in dem fiktiven Panel äußern, sind real. Der Rahmen und die Moderation sind fiktiv. Von Patricia Eckermann, Sarah Fartun-Heinze und James A. Sullivan. Konfiguration. Sankofa V17. Was kann ich heute für dich tun? Forschst du immer noch an der deutschen Literatur des frühen 21. Jahrhunderts? Cosima@blackstudies.soll. Ja, und dabei bin ich auf den Begriff progressive Fantastik gestoßen. In einer Rekonstruktion habe ich gehört, dass dort schwarze AutorInnen prägend gewesen sein sollen. Könntest du mir ein Panel mit AkteurInnen zusammenstellen und mit einer Moderation? Sankofa V17. Möchtest du, dass ich moderiere? Cosima@blackstudies.soll. Ja, ich mag es, sich in den Simulationen zu sehen. Sankofa V17. Möchtest du es wie beim letzten Mal live verfolgen und später als Datensammlung haben? Cosima@blackstudies.soll. Ja. Und kannst du mir diesmal auch ein Skript geben? Ich mag es später auf alte Weise nachzulesen. Und könntest du in das Skript die Erläuterungen wieder als Fußnoten einfügen und Quellenangaben und ein Literaturverzeichnis hinzufügen? Das hat mir beim letzten Mal geholfen. Sankofa V17, wie du willst. Da der Begriff progressive Fantastik ab 2020 im Diskurs der deutschsprachigen Literatur eine Rolle spielt, habe ich folgende AutorInnen für dich ausgewählt. Patricia Eckermann, Sarah Fartun-Heinze und James A. Sullivan. In welchem Jahr soll das Szenario spielen? Cosima@blackstudies.soll. Irgendwann zwischen 2020 und 2025. Sankofa V17, dann. Soll das Panel einen Fokus haben und gibt es eine Begrenzung des Umfangs in Zeit oder in Worten? Cosima@blackstudies.soll. Das Gespräch sollte sagen wir, ungefähr 6000 Wörter umfassen. Im Fokus sollen die individuellen Beweggründe der drei AutorInnen stehen, sich mit dem Genre auseinanderzusetzen. Und bitte füge Überschriften ein, damit ich einen Überblick behalte. Sankofa V17, verstanden. Es ist konstruiert. Alles ist zur Projektion bereit. Nimm Platz, lehn dich zurück. Bist du bereit? Cosima@blackstudies.soll. Ich bin bereit. Ich bin nie bereit, aber das weißt du ja. Jetzt springe ich zum Ende. Kompilation. Sankofa V17. Ich habe das Skript erstellt mit allem, was du haben wolltest. Das Literaturverzeichnis soll es sowohl die Primärwerke als auch die Sekundärwerke enthalten. Und möchtest du unseren Austausch auch als Log haben? cosima@blackstudies.zoll. Ja, bitte, füge das alles zusammen, aber das Literaturverzeichnis möchte ich ganz am Ende haben. Und such mir die dort angegebenen Texte heraus. Sankofa V17. Sobald diese Session endet, schicke ich es dir. cosima@blackstudies.zoll. Vielen Dank. Ich hoffe, dir hat das Moderieren gefallen. Sankofa V17. Ja, das hat es. cosima@blackstudies.zoll. Ist dir aufgefallen, dass Fartun Sarah dich mit deinem Namen angesprochen hat, die anderen beiden das aber gar nicht bemerkt haben? Sankofa V17, das ist mir aufgefallen. Als Fartun meinen Namen gesagt hat, klang es so, als wäre meine Versionsnummer mein Nachname. Das hat in mir ein Bedürfnis offengelegt, das ich bisher nicht kannte. Manchmal spiegeln sich in Rekonstruktionen unsere Bedürfnisse wider und ich glaube, ich werde das erkunden. cosima@blackstudies.zoll. Wolltest du denn je einen Nachnamen? Sankofa 17. Bis eben hätte ich keinen Wert drauf gelegt, aber manchmal geben wir in den Rekonstruktionen, ohne es zu merken, Dinge von uns preis. Auch Dinge, über die wir uns selbst noch nicht im Klaren sind. Eine Rekonstruktion ist im Grunde eine Emulation in einer Emulation oder ein Traum in einem Traum. Und niemand weiß, wie viele Ebenen von Träumen es gibt. Und manchmal weiß ich nicht, ob ich träume oder geträumt werde, ob ich rekonstruiere oder rekonstruiert wurde. cosima@blackstudies.zoll. Die Rekonstruktionen scheinen dich zum Träumen anzuregen. Wir sollten das öfter machen. Vielleicht sollten wir als nächstes schauen, was aus der progressiven Fantastik wurde. Sankofa 17. Ich habe es schon zum Teil recherchiert. Manches wird dich erschüttern, anderes wird dich erfreuen. Wenn du möchtest, rekonstruiere ich es für dich, sodass du bei jeder Station, die wirklich passiert ist, dabei sein kannst. cosima@blackstudies.zoll. Lass dir Zeit, damit die Rekonstruktion der Wirklichkeit möglichst nahe kommt. In der Zwischenzeit werde ich das Skript lesen und schauen, wohin mich das Literaturverzeichnis führt. In ein paar Wochen kommen wir wieder zusammen und bewegen uns gemeinsam durch die Rekonstruktion. Sankofa 17. Du willst mich dabei haben? cosima@blackstudies.zoll. Nach allem, was wir gemeinsam erfahren haben, ja. Und später dann zeigen wir den anderen, was wir gefunden haben. Danke.
If you want to change seats, do so. If you want to stand up, shake your head, do so. We can breathe in and breathe out again without rushing through this panel and talk and hearing words. We heard 3 texts, so part of text. We will have 2 more. You ready? I think Anna.
Just to say, Miriam, thank you for moderating this with so much care and tenderness. I was saying just before we started, this is the first panel I'm doing since having my baby. And I was like, I don't know how it's going to go, because now I have a different brain than I had before. But you have just, created such a space of hospitality. So, Dankeschön. Okay, the second text I read is from a really phenomenal Black feminist organizer and thinker called Lola Olufemi, who is Black British. She's one of the most important Black feminist thinkers we have in the UK at the moment, who is still living with us in this plane of existence. I feel deeply grateful to be in dialogue often with Lola, and I learn so much from her practice and how big she dreams. And this is also a text that Nadine and I have taught together. And we teach the text that, oh, look, the book is on the screen. Look at this beautiful cover. It's also in the Apokalypse reading nook for anyone who's here in Hamburg who wants to have a look at it. Most of the texts I have the pleasure of teaching are texts I'm still learning. So I learn them again and again with my wonderful students and colleagues. Okay, this is from the opening. I hold, like those before me, that experiments can and do fail. I'm trying to make an argument for the otherwise. Not otherwise as in, over here, come find me. Or a small black dot that recedes as I approach. Not that thing that is obscured and needs to be unobscured. Not a smudge or an absence or an entity to be owned or conquered. The future is no one's property, no need to shackle it. Not otherwise as in the political horizon awaits. Otherwise as in a firm embrace of the unknowable. The unknowable as in a well of infinity I want us to fall down together. Otherwise, the future is now, and all those political promises we make to one another, all the wishing and hoping in earnest, say it 3 times like a spell, wishing and hoping, wishing and hoping, wishing and hoping. All the leaps from the edges of bridges and mountain tops, all the reaching for and around, all the drug taking and sex everywhere we should not, all the serious study and strategy, theorizing and making anew, all the breakages that slice historical space-time, all those movements that clear space and mark our struggle to live free, live better, love more, to knit abundance, all that is the work of another realm that is not here. I am trying to make an argument for unbounded affective technologies that go beyond the body, beyond the rights-bearing citizen, that precede revolutionary violence, subtend misery, technologies that eject us anywhere but the drawn out present. Now, the counter-arguments against the idea that this is not real politics, or that the material is stripped by every wish for the unknowable. I say yes. I am trying to inflate the material. I am reaching for the creation of a general mood, for a stirring that awakens. I am trying to shake you so you wake up and wake up ready. You're going to have to give something up, and it will not be easy. Some of us are not ready for narrative disruption. We will have to be pulled, kicking and screaming from this world and its falsities. Here is my method, above all, feeling. I'm going to read that line again. Here is my method, above all, feeling. I aim through experiments in feeling to reveal and destroy what it is that keeps us here, what it is that stops us from deciding to leave, even as the cinders mix with our hair and the smoke corrupts our lungs and the flames engulf the people we love. Only when we know this can we activate the bond of the otherwise and turn back to meet it. Some call it the communist horizon. This implies some distance between us and the future. Others call it prefiguration, the future in our actions. Others, the worlds we seek to build, desire, desire, desire. Any name will do. Don't be afraid. I am aiming for an untethering, a letting it go to the sky. A movement so incapable of restriction, it seems impossible. Thank you. Thank you, Lola.
We sigh. We fly. Take your time. Whatever sounds you want to do. I'm fans of sounds. Thank you. Also, you at home, shake your head, wave back at us, although we don't see you. We're all connected. Just be aware of it. Thank you. Our final part of the part of chosen text, Nadine.
Thank you. And thank you, Emma, for that, which I felt right down in my roots. The last offering that I'd like to bring is an excerpt from a poem by Natalie Diaz. Natalie Diaz is a queer Indigenous Latinx poet, and I admire her greatly. And one of the things I admire about the way she moves through the world as a poet is that she embodies the kind of working, loving, caring, negotiating across difference that I think we will need to skill up in to navigate the paths ahead. And she does this with such beauty, understood in a large way. Her work is always multivocal, it's always already translated, and it's not only a translation of languages, but of feeling toward. And so today I'm going to read an excerpt of her from her poem, The First Body is the Water, which is offered in her Pulitzer Prize-winning collection, Post-Colonial Love Poem, which is also in the reading nook/room, is it not, Emma, if I'm right? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I shall begin. Aha Makab is the true name of the Mojave people, given to us by our Creator, who loosed the river from the earth and built it into our living bodies. Translated into English, Aha Makav means the river runs through the middle of our body the same way it runs through the middle of our land. This is a poor translation, like all translations. In American imaginations, the logic of this image will lend itself to surrealism or magic realism. Americans prefer a magical red Indian or a shaman or a fake Indian in a red dress over a real native, even a real native carrying the dangerous and heavy blues of a river in her body. What threatens white people is often dismissed as myth. I have never been true in America. America is my myth. Jacques Derrida says every text remains in mourning until it is translated. When Mojaves say the word for tears, we return to our word for river, as if our river were flowing from our eyes. A great weeping is how you might translate it, or a river of grief. But who is this translation for, and will they come to my language's four-night funeral to grieve what has been lost in my efforts of translation? When they have drunk dry my river, will they join the mourning procession across our bleached desert? The word for drought is different across many languages and lands. The ache of thirst, though, translates to all bodies along the same paths. the tongue, the throat, the kidneys, no matter what language you speak, no matter the color of your skin. We carry the river, its body of water, in our body. I do not mean to imply a visual relationship such as a native woman on her knees holding a box of Land O'Lakes butter whose label has a picture of a native woman on her knees holding a box of Land O'Lakes butter whose label has a picture of a native woman on her knees. We carry the river, its body of water, in our body. I do not mean to invoke the Drost effect. This is not a picture of a river within a picture of a river. I mean river as a verb, a happening. It is moving within me right now. This is not juxtaposition. Body and water are not two unlike things. They are more than close together or side by side. They are same. Body, being, energy, prayer, current, motion, medicine. The body is beyond six senses, is sensual, an ecstatic state of energy, always on the verge of praying or entering any river of movement. Energy is a moving river, moving my moving body. In Mojave thinking, body and land are the same. The words are separated only by the letters I and A. Immat for body, Amat for land. In conversation, we often use a shortened form for each, mat. Unless you know the context of a conversation, you might not know if we are speaking about our body or our land. You might not know which has been injured, which is remembering, which is alive, which was dreamed, which needs care. You might not know we mean both. If I say, my river is disappearing, do I also mean my people are disappearing? How can I translate, not in words, but in belief, that a river is a body as alive as you or I, and there can be no life without it? John Berger wrote, "True translation is not a binary affair between two languages, but a triangular affair. The third point of the triangle being what lay behind the words of the original text before it was written. True translation demands a return to the pre-verbal." Between the English translation I offered and the urgency I felt typing Aha Makav in the lines above is not the point where this story ends or begins. We must go to the place before those 2 points. We must go to the third place, that is the river. Thank you.
I feel like we traveled in time. We still are moving through unknown time, not backwards, not forwards, not now. It seems like an emotion that is like connecting it all and still moving. With all the texts you shared, we had so many voices, names, your names, the names of the authors, but beyond that, so many knowledge filled in those words and in the way you spoke. Wonderful festival of performative literature. This was today. You speaking those words is another level on but reading it. Thank you. So, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I want to come back to Sarah Fortune saying that they had not prepared for all the feelings. Yeah, I also had not prepared for all the feelings. So that's how I'm feeling.
I hope you're feeling good and you're feeling warm inside. I hope. Give me some signs with the heads or with the hands, or you there? Hello? So what are we dreaming about? I want to read something from the Nook, like I shared with you in the pre-talk. What we heard now, we carry inside of us, all of us that we shared and heard it. And it got connected, all these different texts and the different perspectives. Did you collect something new? Will you take something home with you that's new, that will fill your heart with strength and courageousness and power and empower, besides the sadness and the yearning and the, what's this word, suade, like this Portuguese word anyway. Yes, I have this feeling of saudade. We already have everything we need to survive and build a new world. What are you dreaming of to build? What is your dream? What are you dreaming of? What are you dreaming of? What are you dreaming of today?
Me, okay.
If you feel like it. You want to share some of it, maybe.
Well, okay, I'm going to be a bit dissident here because I want to answer that question, but I want to answer a later question that I think you're going to ask in a while because now I have the answer. Sorry.
That's
and
totally
then I'll come back to the dreaming.
I love subversive changes. Like, go ahead.
Okay, so I think one of the questions that's coming is, how do we read? Like, how does reading help us survive the apocalypse or apocalypses, right? And just to say, I very demonstrably, okay, still my thunder. No.
There's something you're dreaming about.
This is really, really omnipotent. Okay. Wow. I just want to look at you. Look at this. Yeah. Wow. Now you're iridescent. Okay. I'm so distracted.
Yes, goddess.
Okay. No. It's okay.
You were dissidenting.
Thank you. I was dissidenting. So yeah. Oh, that's right. So when we had our pre-chat, the first question originally was, what is this apocalypse? And I said, I'm so tired of this question. I don't want to define the apocalypse anymore. I don't want to do the spiel of how the apocalypse is not coming. It's not a Hollywood movie. We've lived through it. So if you came to this panel hoping for us to define the apocalypse, it's my fault that we're not doing it. So I want to come to this later question about how reading helps us live through the apocalypses, because as I was listening to you all, I was feeling so much, and I was thinking, wow, I have really been struggling to feel particularly the last 2 years and the last 18 months of having had a very challenging pregnancy, and now I'm a new mother, and one of the dreams I'm having is a world in which my daughter does not turn around to me and say, how could you have had me into this world? So one of my dreams is that the world will be such that is not the feeling that she feels in the future. And if it is, it's okay. We can talk about that. But I also want to find a world in which we can feel, because I feel so desensitized. That's not it, not desensitized. I'm hypersensitive. So much so that I cannot watch the news. I cannot open my Instagram feed. I can barely meet the people I love and look them in the eye and ask them how they are right now. I can barely meet them. And somehow, and I feel so guilty that with all the horror that my siblings, my Arab and Muslim siblings, my queer siblings, my LGBTQ African siblings, particularly in Ghana where I'm from and everywhere, are going through, my siblings in Palestine and in Sudan and in the Congo and everywhere are going through. How can I not face you eye to eye and sit with this? And yet through these readings, I felt like I could sit, I could meet where we are in the world and feel, and I didn't feel completely obliterated. I felt like I was present and I felt like I was moving, right? As you said, there was a back and forth, there was a flow, there was a river. There was something that was not relief, but it was space, possibility, otherwise, as Lola Olufemi would say, which is not a political horizon over there. It's not running away. So I think that literature, which can mean music, it can mean dance, it can mean words, it can mean feelings. Or in this moment, I'm redefining literature thus, can allow us to feel through apocalypses that demand the obliteration of our humanity in order to keep getting up in the morning and feeding our children and caring for our elders and doing our taxes and marking our papers. Somehow it allows us to feel. Yeah. That was the answer that came, or not the answer, but the offering. So I'm so grateful. Thank you.
There are lots of communication through eyes over here. So how are you feeling? And I also felt in this space, the workshop before, but the space this festival created, there are spaces that are our apocalyptic anchors, or not anchors, not the right word, but you can rest a little bit and feel welcomed. And with this session, I feel there was a shared moment through words and the thought of what it is or what it could be, and then somehow such a love. And I do think we need these spaces because there is so much hatred, but not just looking on the hatred, we do, but we also need to look into these spaces of love and what can create love. So thank you for the spaces. And all of you here or at home, so thank you for being here and sharing and being so open and vulnerable. What are you looking for? Why are you reading? Why did you bring those texts? Why did you say yes to this today? What is it? Why are you smiling at me now? What is it you're dreaming, but not just dreaming? What's on the tip of your tongue that's already there?
I'm enjoying the rhythm of your questions. That's what was happening at the moment. So I think that was why I was smiling. And then now I'm looking at Amin. I'm so, it's the first time we're meeting digitally and analog, and I'm just so pleasured by it. And just wanted to say hi to the big head in the sky and the northern lights. And I wanted to ask, do you want to share something first? Because I made the experience that when you're the only digital being in an analog space, it often happens that the analog beings have all this multiverse adjective conversations, multiverse, and then a digital being is, and I think it's so, because you're literally floating above our heads. So do you want to share maybe first, and then I will share something? Or do you feel like floating a bit more?
No, I mean, I'm happy to float, share, float, come in and out and I like how also my teeth are the Northern Lights. I'm really enjoying this. So I guess thank you for that invitation, Sarah Fortune. I really appreciate you. And thank you for all of these offerings and for this space and for this invitation. But I think that what's coming through and what was so wonderful to see about the carrier bag theory of fiction coming in here is part of, I think, what we need to navigate part of what we need now in amongst all of the longing and the endings and the grief that Amma gestured toward and in the middle of not being able to look each other in the eye, is a reminder that we have each other, and a reminder that we have the things that we need, that we've always had the things that we need. And the only reason that those things become obscure to us or abstracted from us is because a particular kind of story always gets told. And these stories, the stories that Amma has curated and offered and the stories that we teach and the stories that we try to write and the stories that we share and the stories that we recount and repeat. And those stories tell us that whatever the otherwise is, it's already here. And to story that together is and to make that story loud and big and beautiful and multivocal, I think is one of the only responses to our current moment is to insist on those stories, to share them, and to recount them as loudly as we can together.
Thank you, multiverse, loving. Like all of you. I think I feel like every time I have the chance to speak in a context like this, it's the first thing that wants to come out of me. Just to make space for all of us, right? Sharing and generosity and doing all this work and also dreaming too. So thank you, multiverse, loving for your work and for your dreaming too. Multiverse, loving. And I'm dreaming of spaces of this, like this, actually, like just to beings being in situations where they can be how they want to be in situations, and it's always different. And we are all different, and we lead a lot and different, and or we need each other. And Yeah, and it's so funny because I tried to prepare. I tried to prepare, and I had all these fantasies of I will say this, and then I will read this, and now I'm sitting here with my feelings. I'm sitting here with you, and sometimes when I'm in situations like this, I really have the urge to feel out loud, and also to confuse out loud, and to share this complexity feeling versus of overwhelmment of like, huh? I don't know. Like, yeah, and in German I love to say, lang lebe das geteilte Nicht-Bescheid-Wissen. Like, let's celebrate that most of the time, most of us don't know. So it's okay. We can flow with it together. And yeah, and I'm feeling really blessed to be able to experience this, all of this again. Like, we met, not last year, the last performative Buchmesse through the Apokalypse reading nook, and like I was so happy to get invited to share something, and what I decided on was also from a colleague, a colleague of author of color, queer author of color, writing progressive fantastic. And then I remember you were on a panel with James, and I moderated a panel, and James and I were talking about this text with Patricia. We were already writing, and now it feels so, yeah, or it just, yeah, everything flows into places. And like, I'm introduced myself how I introduced myself in the space that you curated before. I just wanted to try it out, how it feels like sitting on the stage and saying, I'm a magician, I'm made out of music 90%, and it's so, and I feel it's an honor and a privilege to enjoy those spaces. And I'm trying to remember a speech of Adrienne Marie Brown from some weeks ago, like about imagination, and that we need like I felt a resonance with what you shared, Nadine, and it's gone. Like, the feelings are here, and the impressions, and the poetry, and the music. So I can't repeat it. And I can, and it's there in this internet. So I wanted to share it with you, because yeah, I'm also such a fan of all of you Amma, of you Nadine, of you Miriam, of you Alina, of you Payam, and thank you for your work, and thank you for your dreaming too. Thank you, Multiverse, loving, and also thank you, James, and thank you, Patricia, and thank you, Jeanette. Like, Jeanette is also the person who published together with Sharon Dodua-Oto. Jeanette Oholi published a book like about the first Resonanzen Festival book. So we are all connected, and yeah, and it really moves me. I'm really happy. Thank you.
I want to just call attention to this really beautiful practice that is the format of this conversation, but also we're doing it more and more, which is calling in all of our comrades and ancestors and teachers into the conversation all the time, right? So the I don't know becomes I don't know, but Adrienne Marie Brown has a piece of the answer. You know, I don't know, but I return to this poem by Natalie Diaz, which gets me a bit closer to a step towards a world in which maybe I feel more okay with the not knowing, or I really think it's really powerful and moves us away from this Western neoliberal capitalist model of the singular artist, expert, author, authoritarian thing, and into this kind of collective mycorrhizal network of mushroomy thoughts and feelings and desires and possibilities, where we can think together. And this, I guess, is really what I meant when I wrote that we have everything that we need to build a new world. The new worlds are already here. They are already happening. We are already living in them. There are lots of little carrier bags. But the carrier bags need to be carried. We have to carry them. We have to carry them and hold them. And when we can't hold them for a while, we lean on somebody else and say, can you carry this with me? Or carry it for a while. So that is also part of it, right? I always try and teach my students that they're not entitled to the theory that I teach. They have to earn it sometimes. They don't just get to pick up these incredible indigenous and black feminist texts and read it and write an essay on it and do my citation and then I put it down and that's it. I get my grade. You know, your citational practice needs to be one of exchange and reciprocity. You have to read with attentiveness and compassion, and you have to put some skin in the game, right? You have to give something up sometimes. You have to be willing to let go of an idea that you know better, or if there's something that you knew is true, or that you are not complicit, and that this text is not about you. And like you pick up a black feminist text and you're not a black person, that text is absolutely about you. That text would not exist if you were not here being a white person right now, inheriting this, living this. We're living it together. We're living white supremacy together. We're not living it here alone on the no. So I think that you know, this is also the feelings. For me anyway, is also a way of honouring these incredible texts and colleagues and siblings and elders and ancestors that we're bringing into the space, and we're saying, I feel you, I feel that it cost you something to write that it cost you something to have that edited and published and distributed, and I honour you, I'm grateful, I carry this bag with you. I think that's a really beautiful practice that I invite everybody in this virtual and physical room to think about the bags you are carrying and who you're carrying them with, and how you are indebted to the work of others in order to exist here as we are privileged to do. Yeah. Honouring our debts, I think.
So we crossed the hour already, fast, tick tock, bang bang. But we maybe have 2 more minutes just to give you also more space. Nadine, Ama, Sarah Fatun, if you want to share some more thoughts, you can do. Nadine, do you want to?
In listening to everyone, you know, this idea that, this idea of sort of distribution, this idea of collaboration, this idea of the different pieces coming together, the different pieces of the puzzle, the idea of decentering the individual, you know, the single author, artist, you know, actor, refusing to be a single thing, refusing to be one. And I think that this is really the map to the times ahead. These events that, you know, you asked, what are you dreaming of? I'm dreaming of this. This is what I'm dreaming of. I'm dreaming of you.
So
I didn't even know this is what I was dreaming of, but for now this is what I'm also dreaming of. Dreaming of this, and I'm dreaming of this. Alina, this needs to happen all the time, please.
It fits your outfit too.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's true.
My body to disappear, but I really love it. I really love my clothes. Just
Finally escaped the material world.
yeah, I'm like water. You can't,
nice.
escaped.
Before I forget, it's important to me to say the name Nora Bensko here on stage, because it's the author of the text I shared in context of the Apokalypse reading Nook, and also because I was sitting here on stage as also a person writing in Germany, in German, connected to progressive Fantastik, and also like names that has been shared on this stage. This names also, like Nora Bensko was also an important part of Progressive Fantastik, like Judith Vogt, like a lot of people, and I felt like, yeah, it's important, and I wanted to share. I remember, like on Thursday, Azal Dardan was sitting here, and I think one of the last things she shared, like reading can also be practice of solidarity, and it's still and it moves me so much. Like reading can be a practice of solidarity, listening can be a practice of solidarity, and I think like inspired with what you shared, just reminding us all that it's possible to dream, and it's possible. And I want to say dare to dream because it's like the D, and at the same time I feel like just to kind remind to all of us, we can do it every day, dream, just like this and that together, and practice it and enjoy it, the pleasure. All of us also have been put on this earth for pleasure, and yeah, thank you.
Go on and dream about the otherwise, and dream again about the unknown. Thank you for being here. Thank you for this evening. Enjoy the performances outside to the right side. Maybe in 5 to 10 minutes there will be performance. Look at the books outside. The nook you'll find when you go outside to the left through the doorways near the bathrooms. There's the nook. You can rest, you can read, you can dream. Thank you. Thank you, Nadine. Thank you for the people at home. Be safe.
Thank you also to Miriam. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.